there was sort of this idea that if we were to have any kind of interaction with alien life form or intelligence, that maybe we shouldn't tell the public because the public might not be able to handle it.
When people hear the name Neil Armstrong, they instantly recall one of humanity's most iconic achievements, the first steps on the moon. Armstrong's words, "That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind," are forever etched into history and symbolize humankind's bold foray into the final frontier. Alongside him in fame are his fellow Apollo astronauts, including Buzz Aldrin and Michael Collins, who all contributed to the defining moment of space exploration. But beneath the triumphs lies a more mysterious narrative that few discuss openly. Recently unearthed letters and revelations have stirred renewed curiosity, hinting that the Apollo astronauts may have been prepared for more than just rock and dust. Confessions from Neil Armstrong and Edgar Mitchell point to deeper concerns about extraterrestrial encounters. Today, we journey beyond the headlines to examine whether Apollo astronauts revealed the truth about aliens on the moon. Doubts before the descent.
Obviously, the three of us were not going to blurt out, "Hey, Houston, we got something moving alongside of us, and we don't know what it is. Can you tell us what it is?" We weren't about to do that, because we know that those transmissions would be heard by all sorts of people, and who knows what somebody would have demanded that we turn back because of aliens or whatever the reason is.
In the months leading up to the Apollo 11 mission, Neil Armstrong revealed a candid and surprisingly vulnerable side. In a letter addressed to Richard G. Robinson in April 1969, Armstrong openly acknowledged a startling truth. When asked about how they would respond to extraterrestrial life, Armstrong replied that the crew would essentially be unprepared. Quote, "As to your question of whether we will be prepared to communicate and/or defend ourselves when we land on the moon, my answer is basically no," he wrote with clear honesty. This statement wasn't made in jest or dismissed lightly. Instead, it demonstrated how even NASA's most heroic figures couldn't ignore the unknown possibilities awaiting them on the moon's surface. Rather than charge into the lunar landscape, Armstrong explained that the crew planned to proceed cautiously. He shared that they would spend hours observing from the security of their spacecraft before stepping outside. This precautionary approach illustrates that even in an age driven by scientific rigor, the potential for the unexpected shaped mission strategies. Their hesitation underscored a quiet awareness that they might face circumstances for which they were ill-equipped. The moon, long romanticized and scientifically studied, still held secrets no textbook could prepare them for. When Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin finally did descend, the world saw history in the making. Millions of people watched as Armstrong uttered his iconic words, but behind the bravery was a clear understanding of the stakes. The Apollo mission wasn't just about planting flags or gathering rocks. It was a venture into the unknown, where even alien contact, though improbable, could not be discounted. Armstrong's admission prior to the mission quietly echoed in the background. Though the landing proved peaceful and free of hostile encounters, Armstrong's pre-flight words remain a captivating part of the Apollo story. His acknowledgement revealed that the NASA heroes understood they were stepping into uncharted territory in more ways than one. Eyes on the lunar horizon.
I saw this illumination that was moving with respect to the stars. We were smart enough to not say, "Houston, there's a light out there that's following us." So technically, it becomes an unidentified flying object.
As the Eagle lunar module descended towards the Sea of Tranquility, Armstrong and Aldrin's focus was razor-sharp. The moon appeared serene, but appearances were deceiving. For astronauts trained to expect the unexpected, this unfamiliar landscape demanded caution. Their view from the module window offered no clues about whether life, intelligent or otherwise, might be hiding among the gray craters. Still, they watched closely. Armstrong's earlier letter foreshadowed this cautious approach. The moon was alien territory, and protocol dictated safety came first. Buzz Aldrin, Armstrong's lunar companion, later described the landing as filled with technical challenges and unrelenting focus. Publicly, Aldrin rarely ventured into the realm of extraterrestrial speculation, but whispers and later comments suggested he was not immune to curiosity about what truly existed beyond Earth's bounds. He once hinted in interviews about, quote, "something out there," though he carefully framed such remarks within the boundaries of known science. Regardless, during these initial hours on the moon, every sound and shadow likely carried weight. Michael Collins, orbiting high above in the Columbia Command Module, faced a different but equally solitary experience. From his vantage point, he was disconnected from his fellow astronauts and enveloped in deep space. Collins later remarked on the profound silence he encountered, noting the eerie tranquility of lunar orbit. While he did not report seeing anything unusual, his isolation only added to the mystique surrounding Apollo 11. Silence, after all, does not always mean absence. As Armstrong and Aldrin ventured onto the lunar surface, they executed their mission with professionalism and care. Their historic moonwalk lasted about 3 hours, and while they reported no alien encounters, the earlier preparations and silent watchfulness reveal how seriously NASA treated even remote possibilities. The man who spoke freely.
We can keep track. If there's something very important to be developed from the moon, I'm not sure what it is right now, and I sure think we should identify what it is for America to make such gross expenditures again for human habitation on the moon. We can help. We can join with. Together, we can explore the moon and develop the moon. We should go boldly where man has not gone before. Fly by the comets, visit asteroids, visit the moon of Mars. There's a monolith there, a very unusual structure on this little potato-shaped object that goes around Mars once in 7 hours. When people find out about that, they're going to say, who put that there? Who put that there?
While Neil Armstrong remained measured about the alien question, Apollo 14's Edgar Mitchell had no such reservations later in life. Unlike his peers, Mitchell openly embraced a narrative that ventured far beyond scientific orthodoxy. His post-NASA years were shaped by deep convictions about extraterrestrial life and its potential influence on earthly affairs. For Mitchell, the possibility of alien presence was not abstract. He believed in it wholeheartedly. Mitchell's assertions were striking. He publicly claimed that alien spacecraft had interfered with nuclear weapons systems, preventing potential catastrophe. According to him, military insiders and intelligence sources confided in him about incidents where missiles were disabled or shot down by unknown craft. Mitchell, a decorated Navy veteran and trained test pilot, spoke with an authority that gave weight to his claims, even as skeptics dismissed him. In interviews, Mitchell frequently referred to White Sands testing range in New Mexico. He suggested that extraterrestrial visitors had long been interested in this location due to its ties to nuclear weapons development. Quote, "They wanted to know about our military capabilities," he said during a 2015 interview. His perspective was shaped by both his upbringing near this area and subsequent conversations with military personnel who shared similar accounts. Mitchell's advocacy extended beyond casual remarks. In 1973, he left NASA and formed the Institute for Noetic Sciences to explore human consciousness and unconventional scientific questions. His belief in alien involvement became central to his life's work. Although controversial, Mitchell's views reflected a profound shift shaped by his journey to the moon and back. A shift in perspective.
I don't know how many or where or how they're doing it, but they've been observing us and here for quite some time, and we see these craft all the time.
For Edgar Mitchell, standing on the lunar surface was more than a scientific triumph. It was a spiritual awakening. During his return to Earth, Mitchell experienced what he later described as the overview effect. Seeing Earth from such a distant vantage point altered his perception of humanity's place in the cosmos. He began to ask age-old questions. Who are we? Why are we here? How connected is humanity to the universe at large? This moment of clarity drove Mitchell to rethink many of his beliefs. He expressed doubts about traditional scientific models and religious doctrines, suggesting that answers to life's greatest mysteries might lie in understanding consciousness and exploring the possibility of extraterrestrial intelligence. His transformation became a cornerstone of his public appearances and writings in the years following Apollo 14. Despite his radical departure from mainstream space science, Mitchell never portrayed his beliefs as fantasy. He positioned them as necessary questions raised by his unique perspective as one of only 12 people to have walked on the moon. The contrast between his personal revelations and NASA's conventional approach to space exploration became increasingly stark as the years passed. His views often placed him at odds with scientific communities, yet he remained unapologetic. Until his death in 2016, he continued to speak out about his belief that alien contact had occurred and that humanity needed to awaken to this reality. Now it's time to hear from you. Do you think the Apollo astronauts encountered something extraordinary on the moon, or were their comments and beliefs shaped by the unknown and awe of space travel? Let us know in the comments section below.